Good evening. It's Richie. Richie X Jr. Sports Podcast here with my guys. Mr. Idris Salam Window 2, a.k.a. Bosco, from the
Yo.
Bronx.
Let's roll.
Bretsky, Winter Haven, Florida. I, too, am in Winter Haven, Florida. I am in Mr. Bandic's kitchen, enjoying the lighting, enjoying the festivities. We got this big tree here. This thing makes my tree literally look like the Charlie Brown tree. We'll bring it up in a few minutes. But why are we here tonight? Well, for one, the Week 15 NFL preview. It's going to be good. A lot of pivotal games with a lot of regard to playoff seeding, whether it be the wild card hunt, whether it be the divisional hunts, or whether it be the race for the number one overall pick in the NFL draft. People that root for my team and Idris's team and Brett's team, these are things that we have been reduced to thinking about. The boys in Duval definitely are going to potentially try to not win anymore, see how that works out. The Raiders are definitely also in the mix. Brett, is this Die Hard going on here? Wonderful Christmas movie, if it is.
Greatest Christmas movie ever.
Absolutely.
I have crossed it out the me playing, but yeah, if it's Die Hard, it's Die Hard. It is what it is, you know. I got nothing against that.
We also have Darth Hoodie hired by the University
Oh,
of North Carolina.
you said Darth Hoodie. I was like, who? When we said University of North Carolina, I said, okay, I got you.
Yeah, the Hoodie is back in it. Let's start there. Gentlemen, what are your thoughts on Bill Belichick taking a collegiate football job when I think most people prior to about a week ago just naturally assumed he was going to come back to the NFL?
Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like it because there are plenty of head coaching jobs available in the NFL. I don't know what his plan is, but you know he's going in the ACC. You know against UNC. I don't know, man. I think he's aiming for Dean Smith, that kind of mentality. I don't know. I don't know what his plan is, man. I really don't. But the fact that he agreed to a deal at UNC is, great for him. God bless him. He gets to bang all the college chicks that he wants to. But at the same time,
Here he has one.
yeah, like I don't understand the mindset where he's going at right now. I really don't, because there's a lot of NFL coaching positions opening up, and I just don't understand where his mind's at right now. I really don't. I don't get the play. I'm really confused. But he obviously knows what he's doing. So go out to him.
This is what I think. His previous employer, the New England Patriots, gave him carte blanche to run the war room as well as the coaching sideline situation.
Mm-hmm.
Recently, he was told, in no uncertain word, that he wasn't very good at being a GM anymore. So ultimately, I believe what happened here is running a football program in college is essentially like being the GM. And I believe that was his way to satisfy having full control over a roster and still wearing two hats, because I think the caveat to this was if he would have come back to the NFL, he was no longer going to be able to run it the way he wanted to, like he did in New England with all the power. Idris, what are your thoughts?
I'm surprised, especially UNC. Not many NFL. It's just like college quarterbacks coming to the NFL. Just in reverse, a lot of NFL coaches don't do well in the college rank. Look at Lovie Smith. Look at Charlie Weiss. I don't know about this.
Yeah,
he's a disciplinarian, and these student athletes today, especially with the NIL, they act like they feel that they act entitled and all this. And I'm afraid that he might be like, look, I didn't come here for this nonsense. And him being a disciplinarian he is, a lot of the players may not go for his hard-nosed approach to, getting the job done. So, and it's not like you're gonna have players for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years. You might have a player for 1 year. You're like, man, look, I want to transfer, and he's gone. That might be your quarterback. That might be your receiver. Might be your running back. Might be a DB. Might be a defensive lineman. So you got to go back to this someone else's house and say, hey, I want your son to play for me. He might get the big head, get the NIL deal, or again, he might not get the playing time. I want to transfer. Then you're coaching a 2-11 team and you're fired. Then at his age, he just need to be getting fired after 1 year or 2 years because they're like, he don't have it anymore. He lost it in New England at the end. He came to college and he looked horrible.
It's a little scary too because it could kind of mess up his legacy a little.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, if I was him,
it could or can build it up. You know what I mean? Like it's a 50-50 shot.
I mean, in terms of the romance level, I mean, he's taking a page out of the Nature Boys book. You know, Ric Flair also from North Carolina. Maybe this is just Mr. Salam, North Carolina. I'm just saying.
I'm in Charlotte right now, right here in Charlotte.
Just saying. Just saying.
We'll see. I hope he does well because I mean, to be honest with you, I wanted to see him back in the NFL. I'm not gonna lie. I was kind of hoping.
I was disappointed. I mean, I'm sure there were some Giant fans that had maybe some kind of fleeting hope that based on nostalgia alone, Mara would have decided to possibly bring him back. I know the Cowboys fans.
Yeah,
some of them.
I was kind of hoping for the Cowboys because I'm done with McCarthy. As much as I hate Zappy's team, but I was really hoping for the Cowboys. I really was.
I didn't think he would go to Dallas. I mean, true, he's not a media guy, and with Jerry Jones being the media guy, that would keep him from out of the spotlight. But also, Belichick is not the type of guy where you're going to sit there and make him look stupid in the press like Mike McCarthy. Because see, Jerry Jones can say what he wants to say about Mike McCarthy. McCarthy's not going to say nothing back. The players are not going to say anything back, and you're not going to humiliate Bill Belichick in the press because the team had a bad game or on a losing streak. He's not going for that. So I don't think he'd have went to Dallas. That wouldn't have worked. That would have been another situation of Jimmy Johnson, because if Belichick turned that team around and won a title or made a deep run, he's going to get the credit. Like, well, Jerry Jones had all these coaches since Jimmy Johnson and couldn't get it done. Bill Belichick came in and took him to a Super Bowl. Yeah. They're not going to say Jerry Jones. They're going to say Bill Belichick. And Jones is not going to like that. So I don't think it would have been a good fit in Dallas. I'm glad because I don't want Dallas to win shit. So I don't want nothing. I did want him with the Giants. I know he's why? Because
what about with the Bears?
Or the Bears. That's where I thought he would go. Because I think even with the Bears, even with the Giants, Bill Belichick is going to bring that toughness that we don't have, and what the Bears don't have. He's going to bring that discipline. This is the way we're going to do shit. That's why I wish he'd have came. I wish he'd have sat it out, but he knows what's best for him. He might have heard something. We don't know.
I know it's really tough to say at this point. Like I get where his mindset's at. I don't understand it. I get it.
Yeah.
But hey, I wish nothing but the best for him, man. He's in the ACC now. He's playing against Cuse. He's playing against Florida State. You know what I mean? So we'll see where it goes, man. I'm interested how it's going to play out. So see what happens.
We'll see.
Yeah. Last thing on Bill Belichick. I think it's kind of a fork in the road kind of deal because he has to win with another program to kind of shake the stink, whether it's fair or not, of being told by too many people that he can't win without Tom Brady, which I think is totally egregious because I've said it so many times over the years. When you're a coach, you have to stay behind and rebuild everything. When you're a player, you could call a couple of your boys. Next thing you know, you're on a new team. It's a lot harder for a coach to win post losing a great player than it
Yeah,
is for
but
a player to win losing a great coach.
he's proved that before Tom Brady, though.
And, you know, I mean, I think it's safe to say that he did provide Mr. Brady on the other side of the ball with quite a few great defenses, if you ask
He
me.
did, but he already proved that before having Tom Brady.
Doing a podcast.
Mm-hmm.
What is that?
All right, sounds good.
But no,
Okay.
he already proved that before he had Tom Brady. You know, he already had 2 championships and 2 rings before he had Tom Brady. So to me, he has nothing to prove.
I don't think he has any point because you know what? You're right, Brett. Because see, people look at like, well, when he lost Tom Brady, he couldn't win anymore, and Tom Brady went to Tampa Bay and won a Super Bowl. Yeah, but that was a different team when he got to Tampa Bay.
Yeah,
They added some
That
pieces.
he was able to take that team to the playoffs with that noodlehead Mac Jones.
Yes.
yeah.
I think that was one of his finest coaching jobs ever. And that game in Buffalo, where would they throw 4 passes the whole game?
Yeah.
3.
Ran like 100 times.
They threw 3 passes that game. That blizzard.
Something out of like a Pop Warner playbook.
They ran the ball 45 times.
45 times. That's insane in the NFL. Just 3 passes. They do more passes like that.
They still won.
And McDermott just had that stupid look on his face.
He had a hell of a look.
A look that you're going to see possibly in the playoffs again. I don't wish it on them. I do want the Buffalo Bills to succeed, at least in their conference, because, you know, this is the kind of year where you could get one of those strange scenarios where 2 teams that have never won a Super Bowl could face off against each other. And oddly enough, they happen to be playing this week. We're going to hit on week 15 in the NFL. But before I do, want to say something quick about my beloved New York Yankees. I really enjoy the move they made today. I think picking up Max Fried was a nice response to losing Juan Soto. You get a quality lefty with his ERA hanging right around 3.
Which is good.
This is a dude that is not afraid to play in, pitch in big games, you know, being a part of Atlanta for 8 years, and the Atlanta Braves, year in and year out, are a World Series contender. Third base, first base, left field, center field. The immediate solution in center could be the Martian Jason Dominguez, but I don't think the Yanks are done, because if they were willing to pay Juan Soto just a hair under what the Mets ultimately got him for, I say spend all of it on all these other players and make it a point to not only be better than little brother, and yes, they are still little brother, until you start hoisting some trophies in Queens. Richie Dorney, you guys are going to remain little brother. No World Series was won in the offseason, okay? And last time the New York Mets won, Richie Dorney had baby teeth. I had baby teeth. Doc Gooden and Darryl Strawberry were on the road to ruining their teeth. But the point is, I'm happy they're both still here. I mean that.
Yeah.
But no, sir. I'm not buying. If that doesn't work out for the Mets, that will literally,
that's it,
be the most buffoonery ever bestowed on a contract in the history of professional sports. You cannot be the richest player in the history of any and all sport and not win a championship. So the pressure is on, Mets. What could go wrong?
It's the Mets.
I mean,
they don't have to have a parade before they win anything.
They had one last year.
Listen, boys, I'm going to be completely honest with you.
Yeah.
I'm going to save this conversation for March talk. I'm in football mode. I cannot talk about the Mets. I'm not quite happy what the Yankees did. I'm going to save that for a March talk before the season even opens, and we'll blow up that. For now, I'm in football mode. I am ready to go. Week 15, let's go.
I'll make my Yankee thing brief then. It won't take more than 15 seconds. I like the signing. We got a lefty. Let's go get some bats.
I like it. Thursday night football. We've got the Los Angeles Rams heading to Santa Clara, 7-6, traveling to 6-7. This is a cluster, the NFC West, a division that still anyone could literally win. The Niners are on the wrong side of not having a good divisional record this year, and we already know about their injuries. It does appear that the Niners found yet another good running back. Garendo had quite the game against the Chicago Bears, and with the uncertainty regarding Christian McCaffrey's future, that's something to feel good about. Kyle Shanahan historically has had the number of Sean McVay, so that is something that is worth noting as the Rams go undeniably coming off their best game of the year, defeating Super Bowl hopeful Buffalo 44-42. That looked like a legit Arena Football League game. Keys to victory. It's not that complicated. Who's going to run the rock better and who's going to win the turnover battle? You know they're both going to hit each other hard. And who's going to be more upright? Is it going to be Brock Purdy or is it going to be Matthew Stafford? Because if the 49er defense is able to make life not so pleasant for Matthew Stafford, I do give them a chance. I will reserve my prediction after the guys jump on this. Whoever wants in, jump on it.
Oh, let me on this.
Okay.
Let me on this. Okay, number one, the running back that they had, Guerrero, he's hurt. He sprained his ankle towards the end of the game. I don't know who their fifth or sixth or seventh running back is. They're not going to be running the ball unless Deebo Samuel is back there.
They might have to call bar none.
They might. You might be right. I hope they do. Bring Barnum back. But this has the potential of another high-scoring game, another Bills, Rams, fest. You know what I mean? So, granted, it's a short week going into a Thursday night game, but between both these teams, they both want to make the playoffs. They're both, there's a sense of urgency between the two of them. So I see a lot of points scored. I don't see much of a defense in either team. Dude, it's going to be high scoring. And is it at San Fran or at LA? It's at San Fran, right?
Santa Clara, but one and the same. I mean, these guys are neighbors.
Yeah, right down the road.
I'm thinking, man, it's going to be a tough one. 40-36, 41-37 matchup. I'm going to go San Fran. I'm going to go San Fran. I think it's going to be a high-scoring matchup, but I think the Rams are going to be in a losing end this time around. And it's going to be exciting. I think it's one of those Thursday night matchups that you never see. You're like, oh, it's another Thursday night game between two shitty teams. This is not the circumstance. These two teams are in the hunt. They want to win. Something's going to happen. Something's going to cave. Both these teams are going to score a lot of freaking points. I'm going San Fran this matchup, boys. 41-38, final score.
I'm going the other way. I think, Purdy's back. You got Debo. You got Kittle. But that Frisco defense, it's Fred Warner. I mean, I don't know. I'm going to go with LA. I think what I've seen last week, it was a high-scoring game against Buffalo. Buffalo's no joke. Buffalo's stacked both sides. I mean, they're balanced. They can throw the ball. They can run the ball. And, Josh Allen, 6 touchdowns, man. 3 passing, 3 rushing. Brock Purdy is not – he's not Josh Allen. He's not going to rush for 3 and go for 3. I'm not going to call it close, man. I'm going to call it 42 to – I'm going to call it 42-28.
Damn. Okay. Okay.
Rams 30. Give me the Rams 30. Give me the Niners 17. I could understand where Brett's coming from. Yeah.
I don't even think the 49ers are going to score 28. I might go with 21.
I mean, I don't. Do the 49ers play offense that great? They, smoke and mirrors, pal. They beat the Chicago Bears.
Mm-hmm.
Smoke and mirrors.
And the Bears have a better defense than the fucking Rams do.
That's
They
Sorry,
don't
very,
have a, but they don't have the
debatable.
offense.
That's
my friend.
debatable.
They don't
That's
have the offense though.
debatable. That's
Yeah,
debatable.
That's
I'll
debatable.
tell you
They
one
don't
thing.
have the offense the Rams have though.
I'll tell you one thing. The Rams ain't giving up that Hail Mary that the Bears did.
Mm-mm.
30-17 in favor of the road team. 49ers are cooked. Do
Oh,
not
that's
let
20.
last week's performance fool you. The Bears are that bad.
40
Let's
to
go.
21.
Go.
Rams, 40-21.
Go. All right. So I got the Niners. You two boys got the Rams. Got it. Next round. What we got?
All right. We're going to move it along to Sunday Night Football. We're not going in order for a reason, and I'll explain later. Got the Green Bay Packers at 9-4, taking on the Seattle Seahawks at 8-5. These teams do not play in the same division, but they do have a great lineage of playoff matchups, regular season matchups. You got the Brian Bostic game. You've got the Golden Tate game, the interception that wasn't.
Yep.
Packers are coming off of a high-scoring loss against the Detroit Lions. What I like about what I saw from Seattle last week was they did everything that I thought they weren't going to do. They ran the ball. They bullied around the Arizona Cardinals. And Zach Charbonnet had the best game of his career.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that yards are going to come nearly as easily against the Packers, but in front of the 12th man, primetime setting, the Seahawks are feeling pretty good about themselves. Give me the home team here. I'm taking the Seahawks 31, excuse me. I'm taking the Seahawks 31, the Packers 27. I think Green Bay's defense is going to get stretched out a little bit here because they are still hurting in the back end of their defense. And I think Geno Smith is going to have a quality game. Green Bay suffers. Yes, that will be their first losing streak of the season because their losses have been spaced out. Green Bay will suffer a mini losing streak here. Seattle gets some much-needed momentum towards winning the West.
Wow, Rich, I'm kind of surprised, to be honest with your prediction, because I know this late season you're kind of high on Green Bay. I'm kind of shocked. No, I agree with you. You know, Charbonnet had a great game. I think now it's going to open up a game for Metcalf and the wide receiving crew. You know, I think Geno's going to have a good game. Same. I'm going to take the 12th man on this one too. I'm going to go 28-24 at home.
The Seahawks are a much different team than the one that lost to the Giants 2 months ago.
Yeah, no, I agree with everything you said, man. I'm shocked you picked Seattle this late in the season. I'm really shocked about that because normally you are.
And I'll be honest with you, if the game was played in Green Bay, I would still take Seattle. Seattle earned my respect last week. They're better than I gave them credit for.
But it's hard to do that because Green Bay played against a great opponent, number one in the NFC period, and they lost on a couple crappy calls here and there.
And I do agree, but I also think that Green Bay got outplayed for too long in that game, where if they would have had a more balanced game plan, maybe they didn't have to play from behind like they did.
They got outplayed in the first half. Don't get me wrong. They got outplayed in the first half. Second half, no, absolutely not. They kept the game close, and all it came down to was, Campbell, making a fourth down call, 5 out of 6 times. So
yeah, Goff falling down could have spelled disaster, but they recovered well.
Yeah, so you either live by the sword or you die by the sword. So I'm still going to say Seattle in that matchup. I like the way they're going right now. The way that NFC West is playing out right now, I mean, it's pretty tight. I mean, it's very similar to the AFC North division. It's tight right now.
I'm shocked because I thought Seattle was for sure going to finish last in this division. I really mean it. But yeah, Idris, what do you got here? You all
Yeah, no,
you're
I'm
all
with
on the
you.
Seahawks.
I'm on the Seahawks, man. I'm gonna go 31, 31. We'll go 31. Yeah, I'm gonna go 28-21. Gino, Gino's something else, man. He'll look horrible one week and then he'll come back and look like, damn, this guy got some game.
The guy has like 15 lives. I liken Geno Smith's NFL career to a cockroach in Hiroshima.
Yeah,
he's like Jameis
He just
Winston.
keeps growing and coming back. That might not be the best analogy.
Well, I would call him a Jameis Winston without the interceptions. Because he can get, because Jameis Winston is not a bad quarterback. He just throws the ball to the wrong people.
Yeah.
Bro, he'll get you 300-400 yards, 3 or 4 touchdowns. He's like a Ryan Fitzpatrick. I'll put it that way.
They got to put one of those caution signs on the next team that Jameis plays.
It might be the Giants. Look out.
Oh, Lord.
Zach Grossman.
Yeah. But I got faith in Geno. I got faith in Geno, though. And they played in Seattle, too, at 12th man. You know, it gets loud up there. And I like Jordan Love, but like I say, he has a propensity to throw in that bad interception. And not just an interception.
But he's common. He could throw an interception, be like, oh, okay, let's go.
Yeah. But when he throws them, he'll throw a bat. Like, he'll be going backwards and throw it off the back foot, just heave it up there. And I'm like, dude, you know you shouldn't have thrown that ball. Those are the type he throws. He throws passes you know you're not supposed to throw. I could see if you just missed a read and you trying to get rid of the ball, but he's
throwing the pass you're not supposed to throw in the NFL. In college, you can get away with that.
Yeah, in college you get away with it. Yeah, NFL
He literally had the goofiest interception of the season, going back to the game that John attended against the Rams at SoFi. Very fortunate they won that game, by the way.
Horrible.
And the other thing with the Packers, before we move it along, sorry, John, sorry, Nancy, but this is the truth about the Packers.
Yeah.
Matt LaFleur is a really good coach.
He is.
Xavier McKinney's having a really good year. Josh Jacobs, low-key, is having a really awesome year, and Jordan Love is an ascending star. Mm-hmm. But when you look at their schedule, they have not beaten very good teams this year. Nope. And when you look at who they lost to, they've lost to the better teams. And that tells me that there is a disparity on what Packer team is going to show up, because there's no medals for finishing second. Nope. And there's no moral victories in this league. The Packers are a good team, but they're not good enough to make a deep playoff run this year. I think last year's Packer team was actually a little more dangerous. Just my opinion.
I agree.
The New England Patriots will be heading into the place where they blew it at Super Bowl 42. High five, pal. This is a different Patriot team. They are 3-10, but they are enjoying a strong rookie outing from Drake May. Drake May is gradually getting better week to week. This is a Patriot team, and Brett and I said this off air. They do not have the same punch on defense of Patriot teams of yesteryear, and there's a lot of reasons for that. You had injuries last year going into this year. You had player movement because, unfortunately, in this league, when you have great players on defense but your team isn't performing, you're going to move those players for future assets. They did that with Matthew Judon, among others. Mm-hmm. Christian Gonzalez, when healthy, is a young ascending star. Ramondre Stevenson, he's had an up and down go this year too, and the O-line is not that good yet. But I like what I'm seeing out of Drake May. Unfortunately, this is not a good matchup for the Patriots. I think they're going to run into a Cardinals team that's quite pissed off. And I actually think that this could be the best game of young Marvin Harrison Jr.'s career because of the issues in the New England secondary. Give me the Arizona Cardinals 31. I will give the New England Patriots, I'm going to give them 17. I think that last touchdown is going to come a little late in garbage time. The Cardinals know the significance of this game. especially after getting swept by Seattle. So the Cardinals are hoping to win, and they're going to hope that the three of us are wrong about Seattle and Green Bay. But give me the Cardinals by 2 scores, but I think it's not going to be as close as that. As the Patriots go, losing is a good thing right now. Gerard Mayo definitely has the respect of his team. They're not quitting. That's the most important thing. And, you're going to get a high draft pick, and you're going to be able to start building up this roster. And hopefully it lines up when some of the power hitters in that AFC conference start getting a little older. But the Patriots are not in a bad place. It's just not showing up in the records right now. Patriots just need to trust the process and continue to fill out that roster.
I'm going the other way, man.
Oh, really?
I'm going with the upset. I'm going with the upset. I might be wrong. I'm usually right on quarterbacks, but I might be wrong on this one because I said Drake May would not. I said he's going to struggle. He's not going.
He's breaking the mold for the stereotype of ACC quarterbacks.
Yeah, he's surprising me. New England is tough. The record 3-10. They say you are what your record. We are what your record is. But the eye test with New England, man, they're tough, man.
They play hard. They play hard,
guys, man.
They play hard.
And I'm gonna keep it 24-21 New England, man. Drake May's gonna get 2 on the ground.
2 on the ground.
He's gonna get 2 on the ground. He might throw one away. He might give one to the Cardinals. But I'm going with the Patriots, man.
Ooh.
I think Idris may have had a little too much of that special brownie. Mr. Bendick.
I ate it. Yeah, I'm getting ready to though.
Mr. Bendick.
Listen. I am full on board the Drake May Mayday train. I am completely on board.
Me too, man.
I need the toughness. 100% agree with that. I absolutely agree with that. We lost last week's game based on penalties. We got inside the 5.
Yeah.
I couldn't even tell you how many penalties were called on us inside the 5-yard line. It was dumb mistakes. Fundamental dumb mistakes that easily could have won us the game.
Yeah.
We're not going to make the same mistakes this week. We are going to win on the road.
Oh, dear God.
Stevenson's going to have a touchdown, 80 yards. Drake May is going to throw for over 300. I'm calling it, boys. Let's do this. 26-21, Patriots on the road in Arizona. Let's go.
24-21. Drake runs 2 in, throws 1. He might give 1 away, but
6-21 Pats on the road.
But would it be fair to say,
I think he'll get at least 250 in the air.
But would it be fair to say, Brett, that you would rather trade this potential win for one that you could have had 16 years earlier in that same venue?
No. All right, I take that back. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to say,
that'd have been number 7.
Bro, this man didn't speak to me for like 72 hours. Just like words, no sentences.
That's because you left a pile of shit in my wall.
That wasn't a pile of shit. That they call that journalistic history.
No, you left. Let's not get into that. Can we go to the next game?
I mean, at least we have the same color scheme. It's almost like the same thing. Okay,
keep going. Come on, we're on a roll here.
The Buffalo Bills at 10-3, traveling to Detroit to take on the 12-1 Detroit Lions. Potential Super Bowl preview. Not my Super Bowl preview. However, it's a possibility.
It's mine.
The Bills have all but sewed up the AFC East, but can still get the 2 seed. I think the 1 is a little out of reach because of last week's loss. We shall see. Yeah. They're going to be rooting for the Browns this week. As the Lions go, they have not lost a game since week 2. Everything's going right. And despite as wonderful as their year's going, what I find interesting is that the Minnesota Vikings are still very much on their heels and still have a chance to get back all the way into the North, because everybody talks about Green Bay, everybody talks about the Lions, talk about the Eagles, they talk, nobody's giving the Vikings any credit. So the Lions have to keep winning. They cannot take nothing for granted. That game that Brett was talking about that's going to have fireworks and 40-point burgers and all this other stuff, this is that game. This is that game. James Cook is going to bounce back from that crummy performance against the Rams, and the combination of Gibbs and Montgomery is going to go off and help me in many a fantasy league. It's going to be a long week for John Olsen. His Packers are going to lose, and he's going to get eliminated in the Pops, Cheddar, and the Sun League. As the game goes, this is going to be fun. Give me the Detroit Lions with a tally of 41-38, and this game will end on a missed field goal from Tyler Bass as time expires. He's going to try to leg it from the max. He's going to go for a 59-yard field goal and just miss it. Just a little short.
Left.
I think Allen's going to have another premier performance. I think Goff's going to have a great game too. Ultimately, I think the difference here is that Detroit just doesn't lose at home. They don't lose at home.
They don't.
And I'll be honest.
Idris, what do you got?
I'd love to see the Buffalo Bills win this game. I don't even like the Lions that much. I'm not in rapture and captivated with this team like a lot of other people are. But having said that, I think they're the best team in the NFL.
I want Detroit to win. They're my Super Bowl guys, and Buffalo is too. But I think Buffalo's going to take them. I think it's going to be about the defense. Buffalo, they got torched last week against St. Louis, but I don't think Detroit's defense. I don't think they're that stout to stop what Buffalo has. Because see, you got to stop Josh Allen. That's a running back who can throw the ball. James Cook, I think he'll bounce back. And we ain't talked about the receivers, so I don't think Detroit has enough to stop that offense. I think the winning streak ends right here. I think they'll get back to their winning ways next week. But I'm going Buffalo 31, Detroit 24. But Detroit is my Super Bowl team. Though both of them are my Super Bowl teams.
From a pride-based standpoint, I got to think the Bills' defense plays a little better. Did he just convince me to flip-flop my pick?
Flip-flop it, man.
I do own Josh Allen in 3 out of 5 fantasy leagues.
Peer pressure, man. Peer pressure.
Peer pressure, man. I don't even care if you ate that brownie. Circle the wagons. Forget what I just said.
2 shots of
Buffalo
tequila
will find a way to win this game. Because at the end of the day, I do trust Josh Allen over Jared Goff. Forget everything I said. The Bills are not gonna see, this is like the bettor's nightmare. They just got beat by the Rams, and now the Rams' old quarterback comes in, Ryan Gosling lookalike, the whole bit. Give me I'm sticking with Detroit. Forget what I said. I'm sticking with Detroit. It's not happening.
I'd like to see Detroit run a table, though, with that one loss. But I just think with Buffalo.
It adds more pressure. You know what even adds more pressure than that? Going undefeated. And that's one thing that I think the Bills did the Chiefs a favor with slapping them. Yeah. Because now with the new playoff format and you got like the 7 seeds, it's even harder if you're undefeated now than it ever was.
That is. Because you got that one extra game. And now, it used to be where the number 1 seeds and the 2 seeds, they sat out.
Because the pressure just continues to mount if you're an undefeated team. I mean, it's one thing if you're losing in the first half of your first divisional game. That's just kind of working out the kinks.
Yeah.
But, I mean, nothing could potentially be more crushing than having your first loss be the last game. I mean, I couldn't imagine. I just couldn't imagine. But anyway, Brett, what are your thoughts?
Oh, okay. You want to go that route? Good asshole.
Right. I mean, being in theme. You're in Arizona. It's just kind of the theme.
That wasn't whatever. Okay. I get where you're going with that. Okay.
Man in the arena, watch it. Tom Brady had a couple of words for the New York Giants.
Good.
Yeah, he did.
But listen, boy, you know, after last week's matchup with the Rams, we're really going to see what Buffalo is made of. Whether they lay down or whether they come up firing. Either way, it's going to force Detroit to force their hand and see what Detroit is made of. So this is going to be the game of the week by far. It's going to be a hot matchup. I don't think there's going to be any defense whatsoever. As much as I think Detroit's defense is much better than what the Rams put out there. But even with that being said, I still think Buffalo is going to put up 30-plus points.
Yeah.
Just because of the way Josh Allen played. I mean,
Well, that's what would worry me, Bretsky. Green Bay just put up 30-something on these guys.
This man put up 6 touchdowns.
3 and 3. 6. He did his job.
He
6
certainly did.
touchdowns, and he still lost the game.
Yeah.
I don't know what to tell you, what more this man can do to make this franchise realize what they have and what they got, and it drives me nuts, man.
Last time I saw something like that happen, Bretsky, I was sitting in the living room in your old house, and the New Orleans Saints beat the New York Giants. Eli threw 6 touchdowns, and his defense let him down.
In overtime.
That was even more impressive because he's also doing it with the legs.
We'll talk about this at the end of the show, but Tom Brady brought up some great commentary things when he was doing the game. The Rams-Bills game. He brought up great points. We'll talk about that later a little bit. But and the way this Bills team is, it's hard for me not to root against them. It's like, dude, it's the Lions, it's the Bills, man. It's so hard to root.
It's hard.
These two teams. I almost want
good franchises.
I want this game to end in a tie.
Right. That'd be great.
It'll be great. But
he's getting the Buffalo feelers back.
I don't think
Puerto Rican Elvis sitting right behind him.
That's going to happen. Richie, I agree with you. I think Detroit at home. I'm going to say 40-30, 40-37. Detroit wins at home.
I just think Detroit has a better team, but if anybody was going to really make a fool of the Detroit defense, Buffalo is the offense that could do it. I'm just not sure if it goes that way. I mean, the one thing I am very fearful of is if it's the one stinker. You know how Josh Allen always has that one stinker every year?
Yeah.
And the fact that he had such a ridiculous game last week, that's what worries me a little. I got this guy starting in 3 fantasy leagues, and in the other 2 leagues, I have Joe Burrow.
He can still throw 3 picks and still almost win the game.
That's it. That's it. That's the thing about him, man. He can do that and still win you a game.
Only a handful of guys, a couple really, that I could think that threw 3 or more picks and won a game. I know Romo did it years ago against Buffalo, and Tom Brady. A lot of people forget this. Actually threw 3 picks in the 2020 pandemic season against the Green Bay Packers in Lambeau. It didn't have that same kind of feel like of a typical NFC title game because of the fact that there were limited fans. Yeah. But Brady threw 3 picks on 3 consecutive possessions, and his defense still did what they had to do. And let's call a spade a spade. Aaron Rodgers has come up short in those big games. That's the other part of it too, So there's a little bit of both sides to it. Monday Night Football has 2 games this week.
Yeah.
The Chicago Bears at 4-9 are traveling to the Minnesota Vikings at 11-2. This Bears team, I've been saying it for a while. I'm not trying to hate on the kid, But Caleb Williams was just the wrong pick, boys. You could have got Jaden Daniels.
Mhm.
Drake May has proven to be better. Bo Nix in Denver has proven to be better. I'm not saying it's over for Caleb. You can't write somebody off of 1 year. But I think the disturbing thing is that maybe outside of Daniels, and you can make an argument even that he still has better help.
Mhm.
Drake May doesn't have the help that
He
Caleb
doesn't.
Williams has on the roster.
Nope.
Yeah, but
Neither does Bo Nix.
here's the thing with that. You can say, he's the wrong pick. I don't think he is the wrong pick.
I do.
I think it's the wrong system and it's the wrong coach.
Well, with Eberflus getting canned, they have an interim sitch going on. And that's another thing, Bretsky. I thought Belichick may have won there because of the whole Hallis, lineage and, him being who he is on the totem pole in terms of wins.
You go back to that Detroit game, okay? The Thanksgiving game, okay? What was it? 40 seconds, 50 seconds left. They didn't take any timeouts.
That was ridiculous.
He took a sack. He took 30 seconds off the clock and heaved the ball 25 yards on the field, hoping for a flag. That's on the coach.
That was horrific time management.
But you know what? What did I say?
That's on both of them, though. Because when you're a
both,
signal caller, you have to also be.
You have to know. You have to know.
That's on both.
What did I say about Caleb Williams? His problem coming out of college.
Guys, he's a rookie quarterback. He should be taught that.
But see, you do that. But see, that's something you learn in college.
He played that position in college. He played that position in high school.
That's something you know in college.
They got that big ass jumbotron.
Man.
Easily went like this and called the timeout. Also,
the clock is right in front of you.
All that on a rookie quarterback, dude. I'm sorry. You can't do.
Let me ask you a question. What did I say was Caleb Williams' problem coming out of college?
In the wrong spot. The wrong.
I mean, there's quite a few things. I mean,
but the one thing I said about Caleb Williams coming out of college, he holds the ball too long. And he still does it. He holds the ball too long.
But he doesn't, though. But if he does,
he does.
If he does,
he's been the most sacked player in the league.
Some of that is self-inflicted.
Yeah, look at the last game against the 49ers. He holds the ball.
Some of that is self-inflicted.
He doesn't go through his. And I said he does not go. He'll look, and he holds it and holds it and holds it. He doesn't have that clock in his head to say 4, 3, 2, 1. Throw the ball. Usually you have to get the ball out your hand within 3 seconds. The average is like 2.5 seconds. The ball getting out of your hand. You have to. Anything over 3 seconds, you're gonna get hit, or you better take off running. Unless you just got one of them offensive lines that stand around like, oh, don't worry, you can sit back there and have coffee.
If you're Daniel Jones and they give you 5 seconds and you just decide to throw into triple coverage, that's a whole other conversation.
We got 2 men running down the field.
Oddly enough, against these same Vikings. As it goes, it would take so much for the Bears to win this game. I think the Vikings are going to this is going to be bad. They're going to crush these guys.
They're going to smoke them.
Oh, yeah. Especially after getting beat by an injury-riddled team in the 49ers. When the Chicago Bears gave up that Hail Mary to Jaden Daniels, they already kind of lost their way. Another example of that was Turkey Day. Then you get smashed by the 49ers, who are missing all kinds of people.
Yeah.
The Vikings are relatively healthy.
Mm-hmm.
And the Vikings are mentally strong. This is a team that overcame their rookie investment going through 2 knee procedures. This is a team that dealt with the tragedy of losing their 3rd-round pick, Kyrie Jackson, in a car accident in a vehicle he was not driving.
Mm-hmm.
This is a team that is mentally tough. They brought in mentally tough guys. You bring in a guy like Aaron Jones, who unceremoniously got dumped by Green Bay.
Yeah, didn't understand that one.
Yeah, you bring in a Stephon Gilmore, who's been around the NFL wars, a real wily veteran. Mm-hmm. Brett's very familiar with Stephon Gilmore. He's kind of having a bit of a career renaissance. Mm-hmm. And what more can you say about future New York Giants quarterback Sam Darnold?
Hey.
I mean, I'm not even trying to be a wise guy, but
no.
I personally think that the only way that Darnold doesn't leave the Minnesota Vikings is they would literally have to win the Super Bowl, because you got the investment in McCarthy.
Mm-hmm.
And, I'm not even trying to be funny, but Daniel Jones backing him up.
And Daniel Jones might do pretty good considering the organization.
That's
the
an
system.
offense where Jones's strengths can
That's
actually
the system,
be
right.
Because going into next year, you're in no rush to bring back J.J. McCarthy.
And they say he might not be ready though.
That if they because they're not going to pay Sam Darnold. Let's be
they
real.
said he might not even be ready.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you might see a situation next September where Daniel Jones is playing for maybe into October. And Daniel Jones has never had those kind of weapons.
Nope.
But as
that
the
type
game
of coaching
goes, I just don't see a scenario where the Bears win. And I don't see a scenario where they so much as even get penetration on Sam Darnold. I think JJ and Addison pose a legitimate threat to have another bust down week. Nothing like last week. I'm smelling a TJ Hawkinson touchdown this week too. Give me the Vikings 35, 38, 30. Give me the Vikings 35. Give me the Bears 10. The Bears will score a mercy touchdown late in the game.
Damn.
Roma Dunze.
I had Minnesota.
Caleb Williams, 3 picks. 5 sacks.
So he's having a career game then.
Three picks, 5 sacks, and he will recover the fumble that he commits. He'll recover that one for 2 more beatings. The Bears, I'm sorry, he's the wrong guy.
He is.
Zappy said it when he was crying in his mommy's arms. I'm sorry, bro.
And I've been saying he's the wrong guy since he was at Oklahoma.
I haven't seen those kind of emotional tears in a sporting event at the age of a man like that since we saw Idris's buddy Kevin Durant in Brooklyn after getting his shit swatted by Brooke Lopez. Right pinned on the glass.
Yeah. I'm going to say
the worst hairline in the NBA.
I'm going to say
crying. Just crying.
The worst hair, period.
Yeah. I'm going to say Minnesota 32.
Forgetting where the 3-point line is. Going to Brooklyn. Flavor of the month. I'm sorry, Brett. Go ahead.
32-20. Minnesota. 32-20.
I'm going 35-14 Minnesota. He might get one. He might throw 1 touchdown, but I think he's going to throw at least 2 interceptions. He might drop one on the ground. Sam Darnold's going to have a field day. Him and Addison and JJ Jefferson. Yeah, Hawkinson might get himself a TD.
After seeing what the Niners did to these guys,
I just Niners
can't
team.
Imagine how bad this is going to be.
Yeah, an injured Niners team.
Yeah, for real.
They're gonna throttle them. It might be 13. I'm gonna go 35-13. I mean, 35.
Oh Lord, that's gonna be rough.
Yeah.
Race to the 1 pick in the NFL Draft Game 1. The Baltimore Ravens traveling to East Rutherford to take out our New York Giants. Short, sweet, and simple. Everything goes right for the teams that play the New York Giants. Justin Tucker will relocate his legendary foot. Lamar Jackson will relocate his dominant win percentage against NFC teams. His only loss against the NFC is to Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones isn't on the team. Tommy DeVito getting the start. All you could hope for is another loss in draft position. I never purposely want my team to lose, but this is awful. This is terrible.
Right now, it don't matter. Yeah, right now, I don't care no more.
No, this is terrible. This is terrible. I feel bad for Malik Neighbors.
Yeah.
But he's going to get himself a real quarterback in the next year, whether it's a free agent, a bridge to somebody they draft. I personally don't have the highest opinion of this quarterback class. As the game goes,
me neither.
Give me the Baltimore Ravens. Oh, Lord. Give me the Baltimore Ravens 34. Give me the New York Giants 9.
That's about right.
3 field goals. Graham Gano.
Yeah. I'm going to say that King Henry reestablishes his MVP award in this game. King Henry is going to rush for 180 yards, 2 touchdowns.
I mean, Justice Hill might be the guy. They might be up by so much early that King Henry might have the second half off.
No.
What's your score, Brett?
They want my score is
103?
37-13.
this putrid game is going to make Giant fans not feel bad about Super Bowl 35.
37-13, Baltimore.
I think. Okay.
King Henry is going to reestablish and make an argument for MVP running back with Saquon. This is a game to do it.
There is no argument when Saquon Barkley's having the year he's having. He's the only candidate that happens to be a running back.
Not true. If he gets the rushing award for the year, like the most rushing yards in the year, scrimmage yards, everything, absolutely, he deserves it. But this is a game where King Henry can make an argument of that.
What's the argument? You're beating up a team that quit 6 weeks ago?
I don't care what the argument is. The point is if he's going to put up numbers, he's going to put up stats, he's going to put up touchdowns.
Yeah. After I tell you what Barkley's going to do in the Pittsburgh game, you might want to reevaluate that. Go ahead, Mr. Salam.
I'm with you guys, man. I'm going to say 37-10. I think we'll get a late touchdown. Late touchdown. When I mean late, I'm talking like the last.
Wait a minute, 10? So you got
10.
Dable taking an extra point as opposed to going for 2?
I might get. We might get.
My apologies. Graham Gano's not going to kick 3 field goals. Dable goes for 2 and doesn't convert yet again.
Possible. Shocking. Yeah, I'm gonna go 37-10. We'll get a touchdown late, like the last 4 minutes of the game. You know, if anything, if we do any more, we might get 13. Gano might kick a few field goals. We get a touchdown late. But either way, I wouldn't give us more than 13 points. I think King Henry will get 100. I think he'll get about 125, and I think they'll sit him after a while. Same with Lamar. I think Lamar will put up his numbers. I say by the fourth quarter, I think they both will be on the bench wearing a baseball cap. I don't see anything happening.
Yeah, and I hate to be so pessimistic, but it is that bad right now.
Yeah, I don't see. And Dexy, he's gone for the season, so that's the man in the middle. He's out.
Bro, everybody's hurt. We don't even have a starting tackle.
We don't. It's a wrap.
Yeah, enough of this.
Yeah, too depressing.
Game 2, Atlanta Falcons taking it to Vegas. Sanders a Raider? I personally think so. Can the Falcons get back on track with the surging Tampa Bay Bucks looking to win another South title? There's been some chatter about the leash being shorter and shorter for Kirk Cousins, but as far as I'm concerned, this is a get-right game. If the Falcons manage to lose this game, and yes, Antonio Pierce still has these guys not playing good football, but they're not quitting. I think that's the best way to put it. Yeah, I'm not going to say they're playing good football, but they're not quitting. And
not quitting, no.
I hope Antonio Pierce isn't a casualty in the offseason because I actually think he's a good coach that has a shitty hand. This is a rough situation. But this is a get-right game for the Atlanta Falcons, and I think Bijan Robinson should be able to navigate a decent game here. This is just a game where Atlanta should be able to play a solid 4 quarters. Give me the Falcons 27. Give me the Raiders 13. And that's what I got.
28-13 Raiders. Falcons. 28-13 Falcons.
Yeah. So the Raiders will stay in the 1 spot for now.
I thought we was in 1 spot.
Not yet.
Oh, okay.
The Raiders are going to win a game they're not supposed to. It's just not this week.
Oh.
I'm hit or miss with this game, boys, because I don't know if Cousins is starting or if they're going to go with Bo Nix.
He's playing. You mean Penix?
Starting or is he playing?
Cousins, he's starting.
He's starting. Okay.
Yeah.
I think if they lose, I think it's over.
Yeah, or if he has a stink bomb first half, then maybe they'll pull him. But no.
Yeah, I think Penix will play.
This is a get-right game in every sense of the word.
Could it's still playoff ways.
They got a chance. They got a chance to win this division. They're not going to bench Cousins.
He has not thrown a touchdown in almost 3 straight games. So
we know you have him in fantasy.
Yeah, well, but I've been
and that has coincided.
I have not started him.
Potential demise.
I have not been starting him. No, it's this could be a trap game for Atlanta. Yes, they need to win this game. Absolutely. But are the Raiders a team to lay down? Absolutely not. They're one of those teams that will grind and
Oh, they'll
try.
definitely play hard. They're just not good.
It's not good.
No, they're not good, but Bowers might have one of those games where he breaks out with a 180-yard, 2 touchdown game. So Atlanta doesn't have a great defense, boys. We all know this.
I look forward to seeing Shador in a Raiders uniform because while I'm not the biggest hypercritic of what I think Shador is going to do,
Mm-hmm.
I actually do believe that the Raiders will be the perfect environment for him, and I think he will succeed in Vegas. I really mean that.
I'll take
really mean
Atlanta
that.
by a field goal. I'll take them 26-23.
Okay. All right.
26-23. I'm going to go coup. Last minute field goal, done deal, down in between the upright, game over, coup, all day, game winner. 26-23.
So you say you trusting them hoes? Young Wade, Young Ho, Young Wade, whatever his name is.
Yeah. Young
yeah.
white coup. Young coup.
I mean, if you look at his name, he's Young Ho. That's what it look like.
Young white coup.
Gotta trust them
It
hoes,
does
man.
look like that.
Young Ho.
And
Yeah,
just as the New York Jets, things are not always what they appear to be. We got the Jets also in the mix with the boys from Duval. Oh, man. If you like punting, this is your game. Truthfully, man, the Jacksonville Jaguars, at least once a year, have mastered the art of putting you to sleep and getting a late score. They used to annually do this to the Buffalo Bills. But as this game goes, I can't believe I'm actually saying this, but I guess I trust the Jets a little more than the Jaguars because there's a 4-time Super Bowl MVP on that sideline as opposed to Mac Jones. And while the Jaguars did stick around last week and win a game that made no sense as to why they did that, because they basically screwed themselves out of Travis Hunter.
And they need him to.
They certainly do. Trevor Lawrence is probably at home laughing and saying, "You guys thought I sucked. Watch this."
Right.
Give me the Jets. Give me the Jets 20. Give me the Jacksonville Jaguars 10. The Jaguars get a late, meaningless score. For 1 week, the Jets look like the dominant defense that they were supposed to be. But that Jet locker room is fractured. The Jaguars are about to fire Doug Peterson. And at least the Jaguars, will probably by the third pick. I cannot believe they won that game. Like, what are you guys doing?
Yeah, I'm going with the Jets. And Trevor Lawrence, he's one of them quarterbacks I said coming out of college. I said he's not as good as people say he is. He likes to turn the ball over. He's not that guy, and it's proven. He got game, but he's not that guy. Period. He's not that guy. Well, he's not even playing, is he? Mac Jones is playing, right?
Yeah. Lawrence is shut down because of the neurological.
That's right.
concerns.
That's right. Oh my
You
goodness!
got to play it safe with him.
Oh, the Jets about to do what they wanted to do to Mac Jones anyway. They're about to teach him a lesson. Like, dude, you messed us up. I'm gonna go Jets.
Yeah, they're gonna take it out on him for that special teams loss to the Patriots when he was still a member of that team.
I'm gonna go Jets. I'm gonna go 31-10. I think they'll get a late touchdown. The Jets are gonna, and Jacksonville does not play good in Duval.
No, they do not. They don't really play good anywhere this year.
No, but this year don't play good. But if you look at their history, they do not play good at home.
No, that's a valid point. That is a valid point, Idris.
You know what? And in retrospect, the Jets don't play good on the road either. So,
but they're going against Mac Jones.
Mac Jones.
Jacksonville. Mac and cheese. 2019 at home in Duval against the Jets. Done deal.
He doesn't believe that.
No,
do you still have that T-shirt I bought you?
I really don't, but I'm going to go for it anyway.
Would you give it to some? Would you just like hand it out somewhere?
No, I'm going Jacksonville at home, 2019 against the Jets. Mac and cheese coming out with the victory. Done deal. Done.
He doesn't believe that. So he's gonna
Done.
he's gonna at least feed one to Sauce Gardner.
Oh
Less
yeah,
notables.
at least one. At least one.
It's done.
Less notables.
At least one.
These are my picks, not speaking for the guys.
Commanders, Panthers. Oh, I got the Panthers too.
Over the
Okay.
Saints.
Bengals.
Yeah, I got
Chiefs,
Carolina
Browns.
beating Dallas. That might be a bit of an upset, but Carolina
I
has
got
honestly been playing a lot better since
Definitely
the
even
game
better.
in Germany.
Really an upset though.
I got two more upsets on there. I think the Texans are going to beat the Dolphins, and I'm going with the Brownies over KC.
Well, I'll tell you what, if the Browns defense shows up the way that the Chiefs have been struggling to score points, that would not shock me. That's why I have the game semi-close.
Yeah, Carolina took KC really close. Took Philly really close. But it would not surprise me if Carolina makes this a fucking game. So, all the power to them, man.
Yeah,
No,
I'm going.
One Hubbard. Jonathan Brooks, unfortunately, just can't stay healthy this year. I'm still going to freeze him for next year fantasy.
Yeah.
I'm keeping Chuba.
Really good year in expanded duty because, he got his first real crack with all the Christian McCaffrey injuries. Now, unfortunately, CMC's hurt in Frisco. But, yeah, the Bengals by 10 over. It's going to be a close game, but I see the Bengals just doing enough. The only reason I have the Titans scoring 24 is because the Bengals defense really is that bad.
They're horrible.
I'm going to go 30. I'm going to go 34 to 32. 34-17 Bengals. And Levison's another quarterback. I know we over time. He's another quarterback. I told Giants fans, no, he's not that guy. And we're seeing it. They should have kept Malik Willis.
Reason I'm going with the Dolphins here, they still have a very small glimmer of hope to sneak into the playoffs, and I don't really think the Houston Texans are that good. I just think they're the best team of a bunch of mediocres in the South Division. Because C.J. Stroud, in my opinion, has taken a step back this year, and Stephon Diggs getting hurt in the early part of the year really didn't help matters either. So we'll see how that plays out. But I like Miami to outshoot them in that one. We'll see. Joe Mixon, play him in fantasy if you own him. I will be doing that in one of my leagues. Race to the first picks are all done. We only got 2 games left. Peyton Manning's former squads. We got the Colts traveling to Mile High. I see a low-scoring game here, boys. These are 2 teams that play solid defense.
Yeah.
I think that they're frustrating. Yeah, these are 2 teams that are frustrating because, we know that Denver is ascending. Yeah. And their defense, especially in that back half, among the best in the league.
No,
Indy has a good defense.
Top 5 and rushing in and passing. Top 5.
But I'm disappointed with Indy. I expected a little more out of them, especially with a team that I thought was going to be a lot better in the Jaguars having a complete implosion this year. And with the injuries in Houston, I thought the Colts really squandered some opportunities. Give me the Broncos 23. I got the Broncos winning by 6 there.
I'll take the same score, same thing, Broncos, and with Indianapolis and Denver. What I'm gonna say about that game is Anthony Richardson. He's still got a long way to go, man. His completion percentage is still low. He's got a ways to go, man. That's why I got issue with quarterbacks who only played 1 season in college. That's not enough. And we're seeing it with him. I mean, yeah, they got 6 wins, but Denver, Denver for the win.
I agree. I agree with Denver. 21-18. I think Denver's defense is legit. They're top 5 in the league, passing and rushing, pressure, sacks, all stuff.
Yeah.
They're up there. If they can get into playoffs, they will upset somebody.
Yeah.
And I will not be surprised if they do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Their defense is top notch. So their defense in general, their front seven, everything there, they're there. They're in it to win it.
Mm-hmm.
Their offense really worries me. If they can score on the fly, if they can get on third down when needed, that part really worries me.
Yeah.
But no, their defense is what's going to carry them. But I have them in this matchup. Absolutely, I'll take them all day.
Right. All right.
Last thought on the Broncos before we go to the final game of the week. You know how the Chiefs have been very, very vulnerable and winning all these close games?
Yeah.
I look and say, who is the wild card team that could stick it to the Chiefs and really end their three-peat dream way early? And I keep landing on Denver.
Mm-hmm.
Denver could hang with them on the defensive side of the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Denver could run the ball against them.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the thing with the Chiefs that is very weird. When's the last time you saw a team with their record that has a negative in turnover differential? That
crazy.
is something that is ultimately going to bite them, and it's going to happen in a strange way. And I'm going to go on the record right now and say that if the Denver Broncos run into the Kansas City Chiefs in the postseason, I think they're going to end their season.
I agree. Denver's, you know what? Bo Nix, I didn't think he was going to start this year. I really didn't.
No, nor did I.
I thought he had a year too, because that's one thing I had on my quarterbacks thing. I said he'll need a couple of years, but he's looking good, and I just love his attitude. How he basically gotten Sean Payton's face and look, man, blah 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 blah. That's it. I said, okay, this guy right here is a leader. This guy's a leader, and he's getting better and better and better and better.
I wasn't lying when I legitimately thought that Denver would upset somebody. I just don't know who it is, but they will do an upset. Absolutely, with that defense, that mindset.
They should have beat KC the first time. It's just it's the kick. They should have won the first time.
Yeah, I couldn't agree. I couldn't agree more.
Don't be shocked if somebody goes on the fucking first round, boys. Do not be shocked.
I couldn't agree more because they have the right formula to beat a team like KC, because KC wins a lot of ugly games, but so does Denver.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk about a team that also has a habit of winning a lot of ugly games, going against a team that features a former running back for the New York Giants that right now, for their arch nemesis, the Philadelphia Eagles, is in a position to crush the regular season rushing record. And oddly enough, it's lining up that it will be against the Giants. But this game is a lot more important than that game. It's the Battle of PA, and it is potentially the first of two meetings. You know, fellas, how earlier in the show, you know how we said how like Buffalo and Detroit could low-key be a Super Bowl preview?
Yeah.
Fellas, you know I don't really care for either one of these teams, and the one in Philadelphia I loathe. But having said that, to just be completely unbiased, I believe that this is game one. I think these two teams will win their respective conferences, and I think the first matchup will go to the home team, which is the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm in baseball mode too because I've been coming over a lot of the free agents. I'll tell you why I think the Eagles win. They had a crummy performance against the Carolina Panthers, and I think that part of it was looking ahead to this game. When you get into a trap game situation and you still are able to survive and win the game, I think it says a whole lot about, what you have in the basement, so to speak. You know what I mean? I'm talking about like some guts.
Yeah.
And Mike Tomlin, outside of maybe Andy Reid, and I don't even know if that's true because, it helps when you have a Patrick Mahomes. Mike Tomlin, the fact that the man has never had a losing record, and
Mhm.
coming into this year, they had so much
Crazy.
uncertainty at the quarterback position. They go and get rid of Kenny Pickett. They bring in Justin Fields, who I think a lot of people figured would start, but he's managed to use both these quarterbacks in game plans at different junctures of the season. Their defense, quite frankly, in my opinion, second to none. But I think the reason why the Eagles are able to win this game, number one, George Pickens with the hamstring situation could potentially be a no-go. And I think Philadelphia's back part of that secondary has extremely improved from last year, where it was one of their weaknesses. You enter Saquon Barkley. This is a team that's not afraid to bully people around. They lost Hall of Famer Jason Kelsey and have not lost a beat on that offensive line. The brotherly shove still works to perfection. And I think this is the kind of game where you're going to see Philly try to get aerial on them and challenge the Steelers. And I think you're going to see at least one instance where either Devontae Smith or A.J. Brown gets behind that Steelers defense. If the Steelers have a weakness, it's that I'm still not convinced that they are able to score a lot of points. But they do eerily remind me of the Baltimore Ravens, who won Super Bowl 35, who had an adequate offense, but a great defense. Give me the Eagles in a close one here. I'm going to go Philadelphia 24, Pittsburgh 23. So Pittsburgh will cover, but give me the Eagles by a point. It's going to be a close game. And I got them winning on a walk-off field goal.
I'm going reverse. Same score, but I'm going Pittsburgh. Just like KC, I think with Philly, they've had games where they blew people out. But like them, the Carolina game, they've been barely getting by. And Carolina doesn't have the weapons, even without George Pickens. Carolina doesn't have the weapons that Pittsburgh had. They still were able to scare Philly in Philly. So I'm going to go with Pittsburgh on that. For Saquon, I think he will get 2,000 yards. Depending on what the season's like at the end, I think he has a more than a puncher's chance to get Eric Dickerson's record. Also, to go back to King Henry, I think King Henry can get another 2,000 too. And they both can get their yards against the Giants. Saquon can break it against us. King Henry can grab 200 against us. Depends on how they run the offense.
Do you know how depressing that would be for Eric Dickerson if both these guys jump him in the same season?
Right. I don't think King Henry would get it, but I think Saquon will get Eric. But I think King Henry will get 2,000. Saquon Barkley, Aaron Moorhead, please come on the show. Come on, cuz y'all come on the show, man. I won't bother y'all no more. Come on the show. Don't come together.
I can't say that I won't bother y'all no more. However,
because I know my cousin's like, man, this nigga get on my nerves.
Yeah. Listen, boys.
means you're doing your job.
Questionable. We'll see what happens with him. But with all the controversy in the locker room regarding the passing game, and the ball is Saquon, blah 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 blah. AJ Brown, Smith, they're both frustrated, but they're still winning.
Yeah.
This is one of those games where something's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Something's definitely gonna happen, and Philly's gonna come on top in this one, man. I'm a firm believer in that. There's a lot at stake, in the PA state. But I think Philly is they have way too much talent. Mike Tomlin's a great coach. Don't get me wrong.
Oh yeah.
Don't get me wrong. He's a great coach. But I think Philly is just way too talented. They have a lot of weapons. It all starts with a running game, and that can develop into a pass action, passing game.
Yeah.
I'm taking Philly in this one all day. I'm going to say 30-19. I don't think it's going to be close. I really don't. I think this is one of those games where Philly's going to fucking romp on them and be like, you know what, we're the team of the state. And it's sad to say, I don't want to say it. You know, I know that you guys hate Philly, but you know, this is one of those games where it's going to come down to them. So
yeah, I mean, I'm with you. You took when you took a walk, I mentioned, because we're on the same wavelength on Devontae and AJ Brown. They've been disgruntled, more so AJ Brown verbally, about not being more involved in game plans. But when Saquon's having the kind of year he's having, plus he's an option in the receiving game, and inside, the 5-yard line, you're able to really bully teams down low.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no reason to risk it. I mean, ask the Seattle Seahawks how that went when you had a ferocious running back in Marshawn Lynch. And we've seen other teams get too cute on the goal line. One thing I'll give Philly respect for, even though I can't stand them, is that they don't get cute on the goal line. Saquon don't give two shits about scoring touchdowns. He just wants to win games. Even going back to his New York days, he was always that kind of guy. The Eagles are my pick to go to the Super Bowl right now. It could change, but as of right now, I think they have the most complete team in the NFL. I know that the Lions right now are supposed to be the best team. I get it. But a fear of mine for the Detroit Lions, and it was a fear of mine last year too. I still don't buy completely their secondary. I think Philly has a better one. And although Gibbs and Monty are pretty awesome, Saquon Barkley's the best running back in the NFL right now.
Nobody talks about Philly. Nobody talks about them. And they are up.
Well, I think it's in part due to the way their season ended last year that certain people were kind of waiting for the implosion. Because I remember when they left MetLife Stadium last year after the Giants kicked their ass, I feel that a lot of folks just naturally expected what ultimately happened, which was they go to Tampa and they were already checked out. But this particular team, and I think you got to put it on 26, him coming over has reinvigorated that organization.
Yeah.
And once again, I can't stand that team, but you have to give all the just respect to Howie Roseman.
Yeah,
he drafted two excellent parts of that secondary in Kenyon Mitchell as well as Cooper DeJean, joining some veterans that they already had there. This team on paper, they're well coached. They really are well coached. I mean, if you look at position coaches up to the head coach, they are really well coached. And it shows up on Sundays. They make less mistakes than most. And Jalen Hurts, I don't think he's as good as everybody blew him up to be in that Super Bowl season.
He doesn't need
this
to be.
roster around him, he doesn't have to be.
He doesn't need to be.
Exactly. Go out and do his job.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah, I'm with y'all.
Good show, boys. We went a little over the time we expected, but definitely worth the time. Really enjoyed the conversations tonight. I think we did a hell of a job really analyzing each and every one of these games. And it's going to be a fun week because a lot of stuff is going to be settled this week. I'm sticking to my prediction for now. This is a Super Bowl preview for now. But we shall see, because the AFC is so congested and tough to figure that this could be a weird situation where it could be a year for a wild card team.
I'm still going Detroit Buffalo, but I would like to see Tomlin win just based on, I think if he won, he'll ride off into the sunset.
Good possibility.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, Russell Wilson will shut up a lot of haters that felt that he was cooked. But what an interesting caveat this would be if Pittsburgh and Denver were to run into each other after the way that Russ was treated by the Broncos.
Oh, man. It's possible.
That would be something. But that's my pick. If somebody's going to beat the Chiefs early, it's the Denver Broncos. Now, who matches up good with Philly, in my opinion, early in the playoffs? Believe it or not, I'm going to say Green Bay.
Boys, America wants Buffalo and Detroit. The NFL wants Philly and KC.
Yeah, I don't want KC in there. My bad.
I don't know why anyone wants KC at this point. They are boring.
I'm just, you know what? I used to be a supporter of KC, but with the Taylor Swift stuff it's just too much for me, man. I mean, I know the NFL, it's a business they're trying to promote.
You know that Taylor Swift shit came after Tom Brady left.
Yeah. I mean, give me now if they put Stevie Nicks there, all right.
Remember Stephen?
I don't.
Wall?
Oh, I gotta show you. I made one. Next time we go to show, I'm gonna show you. I made one.
Yeah, you remember Stephen Nicks on my wall?
Mm-hmm. I made one. I made one too. On the next show, you'll see Stevie behind me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna draw a canvas next to her. Now they have Stevie Nicks. Let's go. Come on,
from Stevie Nicks in music to 2K and the New York Knicks. I'm about to whoop on Brett in 2K. I will share the results of our meetings.
Yeah, I need screenshots.
Yes, sir. There will be screenshots of the final scores tonight. Thank you so much for hanging out late with us. If you haven't already, please make it a point, like and subscribe to the channel, the Richie Hicks Jr. Sports Podcast on YouTube and Facebook. Also, make it a point to check out the Casual Convo Show, where you can see Idris and the beautiful Miss Coco talk about it all.
Everything is everything.
Yeah, really awesome show. Definitely give them a watch and make sure to subscribe to that channel as well. Have a great morning, everyone. And it's been a pleasure bringing you the show. Announcements to come for our next one, but I'll give you a hint. We're going to talk a little Trae Young. We're going to talk some NBA in-season tournaments. And we're going to talk some baseball free agency because there's a lot cooking on my mind. Yankees sign everyone. Giants fire everyone. Have a great night.
Peace.